Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium once again. Yes, I did predict the riots. Yes, I did predict the virus before it happened. Nothing changed though. And why did I predict them? Well, and probably 100 other things that haven't happened yet. Because I wanted to inform. I've got like 500 followers, so it's not like millions. Not like it would make any difference. So I began to wonder, am I doing these? Is there a purpose? It's hard for me to find one today. I'm like that lone tractor out there in the field spinning his tires in the mud. Of course, we've all been seeing the riots. And the truth is that these riots are created, they're not natural. Oh, where is Martin Luther King now? Or any of the great leaders from that period of time? Where's James Brown? James Brown, just on his own voice, stopped a riot once. I don't remember the city. Detroit, maybe? Went on the air, said, people, we're just tearing up our own stuff. Why are we doing this? What's the point? What does it accomplish? And they didn't have one. So one of the few cities in the 60s that didn't have a riot on that particular night. Where is James Brown? Yes, very complicated, very controversial, had problems with women and all kinds of things, went to jail for drugs. I'd overlook every bit of that if he were back because he was the voice of reason during a time of chaos. Martin Luther King, a more intelligent man you'd never meet. He hit it right, and he knew he was going to get killed before he was. He said so. I may not make it there with you. I may not make it to the end with you. And still he went on. Where are those guys? What we have now, I'm going to define it as simply as I can. People in pain because one of theirs has been killed unnecessarily, viciously, violently, whatever. He's dead. And peaceful protesters went out and started gathering and carrying candles. And it's like any other death that affects a lot of people. And almost no one knew this guy. It wasn't like John Lennon, where everybody felt like they knew him because they listened to his music. This guy was an unknown. And yet the pain is still real. They were having nice, peaceful demonstrations. All of a sudden, violence begins. Looting. That's what that turned into. And it spoiled the memory of the man who died for no reason. Peacefully protesting, electing officials that will undo these laws that protect policemen from doing these kinds of things, weeding out the bad ones. This is what affects change. You go rioting, you get no sympathy from anybody. Those people's businesses were hurt during a time of this virus. Well, these businesses are just not going to come back, but you don't care because you got your TV, you got your phone. This is about looting. And these are not the people who were trying to celebrate this man's life and try and understand why he died, trying to make sense of things. That's what they were out there for. But mob violence is what it's turned into. Here's a chance for me to get something. That's all this is right now. It's an attempt to smash and grab. They're not honoring the memory of this man. If they were, they wouldn't be doing that because that's what started it. Violence against a man who was all alone. I'd like to say we're better than that, but every time these things happen, that's what happens. People are peacefully protesting, gathering together, trying to make sense of the loss of a man's life. And then in come these other people, often from outside state. If you've been to Minneapolis, there aren't that many people there. And certainly not that many black people live there. It's like these people came from other places to tear up the town. Why? Because we have poor leadership at this moment who's inciting people to riot. Again, why? Why would you incite your own people to riot? And I've said this phrase many times, because in confusion, there is profit. Let's have everybody fighting everybody. I'm happy now. I'm happy. I'm at peace because everybody hates everybody. Poor leadership. We'd had a Martin Luther King or a John Kennedy or a Robert Kennedy or any number of people to make sense out of this. You see, what happened in the 60s is they formed coalitions. They had committees that began to oversee the police and to take over these and kick these people out, and better screening, and they worked with the system to make it work. Working against the system doesn't get you anywhere. And you're mostly harming people who had nothing to do with anything. I mean, that was one lone guy, one lone police officer killed a man. There have been a lot of them lately. But that's what started this, just one too many. Peacefully march, honor this man. I didn't know him, I never met him, but it was a senseless death. Maybe something good can come out of it, but not by destroying other people's property and setting fire to police cars. That didn't. Your taxes are going to buy those cars. These people are going to lose their businesses, but you don't care. Those looters out there. You got your new cell phone and you're so happy. What's going on is there's two factions. There's a faction who really is trying to make sense of the pain of this thing that's happened. And then there are the looters, and they shouldn't be together. And they shouldn't be classified together. They're two entirely different groups of people. But how can you tell when they're in a mob and they're tearing up a building? You can't. 20, 30 years from now, some of these people will be telling their grandkids how they were there and they were the peaceful ones. The ones that tore up things and got their cell phone. That's what they're about. And it's not a huge number of people. It looks big on television, but it's not that many people. The majority of the people out there marching were doing so through pain. I want you to remember to get out and vote. And if they block write-in, and I have a ballot coming, supposedly, where I can write in, because they've changed things so many times in Texas. Yes, you can write in your vote. Then no, you can't. You can't do that. It's too easy to do fraud. And then yeah, you can. And the courts have gone back and forth on it. And I haven't got my form either. So I'm going to go stand down there a couple hours last year to vote, or 4 years ago. I'm good for that. We can't have any more of this crap. People are now so appalled that are in that group of people that we're talking about that they're turning their backs on it. They pretend like, oh, I wasn't any part of that. I didn't see that. Why? Because they want to be elected. Not that these people think there's anything wrong with it, because they don't. That's why they're being really quiet about it. But they want to get reelected. These fat cats that just keep rolling year after year. And I did the whole film about term limits is the only way to get rid of these people. It's the only way to get money out of politics. And money in politics is what's ruined the country. It's made it hard. People get paid to run for office. They pad their pockets. They vote. Oh yeah, you can have a 50 caliber Gatling gun and walk down the street with it. Why? Because they get paid to look the other way. It's a mess. We will get better. We are trying, but we do not learn from history. These things went on in the 60s. They went on in the 70s. People get frustrated. But the majority of the people out there that are peacefully protesting, good for you. Good for you. The people who are looting, it's a disgraceful thing. I hope you can live with yourself, and I'm sure you will be able to because you've probably done this before. You see an opportunity and you snatch something and run because you're ignorant. All these things do is drive businesses out of communities where you live. Let's find some peace in the coming weeks. In the 60s, this is what everybody would do. I think we all had patches on our jeans, on our butts of our jeans that had the little peace symbol on it. And things would get out of hand on campus. You know, people would do this. Let's just calm down, people. Let's just have some peace. Let's figure this out in an orderly fashion. Let's run through the system. Use the system to fix the system, because that part's not broken. Get people elected to make change. You're not going to find change out in the street. What you're going to get your cell phone and your TV and your couch and whatever it is you're stealing. You're not going to get anything fixed. Run through the system. I wish I could remember his name. An old politician figured out how to do it. Brown versus Board of Education. All these cases they won through the courts because the courts are the great equalizers. That's why we don't have separate schools today. Blacks went to school over here, whites went to school over here. Separate's not equal. They went through the court system and proved it was wrong, and it was undone. Smashing and grabbing a cell phone, yeah, good for you. I hope you're happy with that, but it doesn't affect change. Get together, form committees, run somebody for office, get them in there, and they can do things you can't do. I can remember that guy's name. He's a great lawyer. Can't think of his name. Sorry. Peace. Find some of this. Find some of this. Hug each other. Sit down and talk at a table. Figure out what's wrong and then go about fixing it. You think these politicians want to fix it? They're not even there for that reason. They're there because of the do-re-mi. To affect change, it's a grassroots thing. Someone's saying grassroots. Start from the grass up. Run your own people. Get them in office. Have them vote in laws that can fix these things. Racism's with us. Will it go away? Not in my lifetime. I wish it would. It has no purpose. Just keeps one people down while trying to raise yourself up. That's a shameful thing too, when you have to pull somebody down to the ground to feel good. It's shameful. There's no excuse for it. And someone's saying the pandemic is not over yet, so don't go running out and getting in crowds and having parties. It's still here. There's going to be a delay in the action. Things will sort of clear up there, and then it'll be with us again in a different form. So shots will come out next year. That'll begin to help. But this is not just one viruses or multiple viruses, and a different shot will have to be made for each one. Eventually, we'll have a combination shot that will take care of most of these, all because people in one country don't know how to butcher meat. Isn't it strange? You've got a flea hopping on the other side of the world, and now we have an elephant trampling the city. It's very strange, very strange. Find some peace, find some happiness. Do the right thing, people. This isn't complicated. When you hurt other people to bring yourself up, it's shameful. You should be ashamed. I know you're not. You're just waiting for the next right where you can run out and get that big screen TV. But it's not right. And a certain number of these people exist all the time. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.